What is up, guys? Torrey Drake, Denver Realtor, and welcome to another What the Heck is Going On in the Denver housing market, where my goal is just to simplify everything that's happening in the housing market. So whether you're buying or selling, you know what it means and how you can be the best seller or buyer in this market possible. So if that sounds like your jam, you should hit the subscribe button. That's what I put out every single month, as well as a lot of community tours, cool things like that. Anyway, there's three sections to my market updates. Number one is I talk about the numbers and what's changed. Then I talk about three things to know for buyers and three things to know for sellers. My whole theme here is simplification. My goal is not turning you into fools. My goal with these videos is not to turn you into a full-fledged realtor, but just to give you the information you need to take action. Okay, before we get into the numbers, big talking point right now, are we in a buyer's market? Have we shifted from sellers to buyer's market? It sure feels like it. Well, here's what is generally considered a seller's market. If we have less than 3 months worth of homes on the market, it's considered a seller's market, less than 3 months. If we have more than 6 months worth of homes on the market, we're considered to be in a buyer's market. So if we have 3 to 6 months worth of homes for sale on the market, that's considered a balanced market. 3 to 6 months. Right now, we're at 1.8 months. So we are still in a pretty steep seller's market. It just feels like we're in a buyer's market because before, we have 2 months of inventory right now. At the peak of the market, we have 2 weeks worth of inventory. So that's super unhealthy. So just going from 2 weeks to 2 months, it feels like we're in a buyer's market, when in reality, we're still pretty far from it. Okay, let's dive into the numbers. I'm gonna throw them up on the screen and talk about what they mean. So first off, we have, and I have the numbers here too on my iPad, is we have the amount of homes for sale went up basically 11%, let's call it. And the reason that is we don't have as many new homes coming to market as we do just have homes sitting for longer, which is why my dog always eats food when I record videos every time. So if you hear crunching, I apologize. There, come here. This dude eats food every time I record videos, don't you? Every single time. Okay, so the amount of homes are up 10%. And because their homes are just sitting for longer, sellers are having a really hard time, agents too, pricing homes because they're using comparable home sales from homes that sold at the peak of the market where homes were selling for a premium. They're still selling for healthy prices, but they just don't have that same premium because once again, we have 2 months worth of inventory now when we had 2 weeks. That's a heck of a premium when you have 2 weeks of properties for sale as opposed to 2 months. So homes are sitting for longer. So it looks like if more homes for sale, which we technically do 10%, but it's not a mass amount of new homes coming in. It is homes sitting for longer because we sold about 8.4% less homes. We have less buyers in the market buying homes, largely due to interest rates being so high. Now, seasonally here in Denver, usually after August is when we see our depreciation here in Denver. January through July, we have some steep appreciation seasonally, and then the rest of the year going into the holidays, we see some depreciation in closed homes. The amount of homes we're selling go down as well. Those numbers are just being so exaggerated now, right? Those numbers are being very exaggerated right now because of the crazy market we just came out of. Despite there being more homes for sale, despite us selling less homes, despite homes sitting for longer, we still saw that 2.2% appreciation. Why? Well, because home sellers are catching on that homes are depreciating. Before, they were trying to price sky high like it was the peak of the market, and home sellers have caught on that they can't price like they were just a few months ago. So before, that month or two ago, we were seeing such deep appreciation because they're pricing super high like we were still in a crazy market when we weren't, and they had to come down in their price. Now, instead of starting here and coming down here, they're just starting here, so we're starting to see some prices go up a little bit from there. So what does this mean for the Denver housing market for the rest of 2022? Well, this is just my opinion, and anybody who says they know for sure what's going to happen is lying, because nobody knows. But this is my opinion. I think we're going to continue to see housing prices come down the rest of the year going into January because less buyers are going to be in the market due to holidays and high interest rates. And going into January, we're going to have a really small amount of homes for sale. because a lot of sellers refinance, so they don't want to sell, or it's the holidays and they don't want to sell. So less sellers taking their homes to the market coming into January, we have less homes, and so we have less buyers in the market. So we're going to be selling less homes, see prices come down. And then in January, when our January/February, when our buyer's market seasonally really kicks off, we're going to have such a small amount of homes for sale that it's going to cause another round of appreciation to go on, because we have a small amount of home for sales. Lots of buyers are going to come into the market, which they seasonally do, causing those housing prices to come back up, because we're going to have lots of buyers, not a lot of homes for them. So rest of the year, I think price decreases are going to be happening. And then going into 2023, we're going to see another round of appreciation January through July, just my opinion. Now let's jump into 3 things to know for buyers and sellers. Let's start off with buyers. Number 1, buyers, do not be afraid to ask for help with closing costs. About 30% of home sellers are agreeing to help pay closing costs, and the average payment they're giving is about $5,000. So don't be afraid to ask. Thing to know number 2, friendly reminder, do not get into a monthly payment that you are not comfortable with, hoping that interest rates will come down so you can refinance later. That is not a smart move. We don't know what's going to happen. Nobody thought we were going to hit 7%, and here we are at 7%. So don't get into a monthly payment that you are uncomfortable with the hopes of refinancing later. Get into a monthly payment that you are comfortable with, whether you can refinance or not down the road. And if it turns out you can refinance down the road, that is just icing on the cake. And the third thing to know for buyers is I do genuinely believe now, October through December, maybe early January, is the cheapest we're going to see homes in Denver for quite a long time. Sellers, time for you guys. Thing to know number 1 for sellers is the price you want for your home and the price you listed at are 2 different things. The price you want is the goal. The price you take it to market at is the strategy. It just because you want XXX for your home doesn't mean you should take it to market at that. You need to take a look at everything for sale in your neighborhood, see how your home competes, and ask yourself, how can we get as many eyeballs on this home as possible the very first weekend? And spoiler alert, that usually happens if you bring your home to market pretty substantially undervalued, so you can get a lot of eyeballs on it and get a lot of offers and a lot of attention going on. By the way, I do know that's scary. That's why it works so well, because most sellers are too afraid to do it. And last but not least, sellers is be willing to negotiate. Buyers have more options than they've had in years in Denver, and they love that. They love utilizing that strength right now of asking for repairs, asking for appraisals. Now, I'm not saying agree to anything unreasonable, but just come into it being willing to negotiate on reasonable requests. Well, that concludes October's What the Heck is Going On in the Denver housing market. I genuinely hope it gave you some actionable information. Guys, once again, Torrey Drake, Denver Realtor. If you have any real estate needs in Denver or the greater Denver area, guess who wants to help you? I do. I would love to. My contact information is in the description. I've already heard from a few of you guys already. It's so cool to help people who I've met through YouTube. I just love that. So please reach out to me if you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that. I'm the most low pressure type of guy you're going to meet. I'm not going to, start calling you every single day or anything like that. All right. Thank you so much, guys. Hit the subscribe button because it means a ton to me, and I will see you on the next one.